Hello, and welcome to another video. This is a good old paint swatching video of all my Mont metallic paints. Now this last set, the gold and silver range, my mom just brought for her own crafting, but she's letting me swatch them out and compare them with the other paints that I've had for a while and see what overlaps, what doesn't, and if they are any good. Now I'm swatching it all on black paint, and I'm using the Uniball Signo pen to write down the names and labels. It's a really good pen to use on black paper. But into the swatching, first up we have the little Discovery set. So the Mont Metallic Acrylic Paint Discovery. Now it's a small little dip jars, and they come in gold, silver, bronze, purple, phthalo blue, and phthalo green. Now it's a really good little set. I've used this one for accents for some time, and I quite like the little dipping jars and the sealableness of it, though I did struggle to open them. But if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I do struggle with opening things. I don't know what it is. I am just a good old-fashioned struggler. But I really do like the gold, silver, and bronze. I think that they are really nice, really striking. And the other colors are good. They are not bad colors. They just don't have the same striking quality. But I still definitely use them. I think the blue can be quite nice. I'm not so much of a fan of the purple, but that is alright. We all have things we like and don't like, but that is really strange because purple is these days one of my favorite colors, but not this metallic purple. And if you're just looking for a small set to try out, these are, I would say, a good little range of metallic paints to try out. They're not fabulous and they're not archival quality, and I cannot speak for the light fastness of these ones in particular because there are no ratings or anything on that. Though the next one, the Mont Metallic 8-piece set, does, and I will get into that. Now a lot of these overlap. There are two that don't, and that is copper and magenta. The rest of them are they overlap. Now this set I've had for some time now, but I haven't opened it because I had the other set and I knew about the overlap, and I didn't have any particular drive to use the copper or magenta separately. I mainly went for the gold, silver, and bronze, which makes sense. And yes, they are the exact same. The one thing to note about these ones is they don't have number codes on them, so I wasn't sure if there would be any subtle differences between them, but painting over the top of them seems to show that, the colors line up perfectly. I can't really tell a difference outside of my messier brush strokes. But for metallic paints, I do quite like these. I have another video coming up, which is a massive paint swatching video. It is just taking some time to edit and all that stuff. And there are some other metallic paints in there, which are decent, but I'm very slow. I'm very slow working at the moment. I'm trying to kick my ass into gear, but it's like when you're your own boss for things. It's like, I know the woman in charge. She's a pushover. I will say that, no, I don't know whether, I don't know what it has to do with. Maybe I've let them sit for too long, or I need to mix it up somewhat. But the phthalo blue and the phthalo green in the 8 set had a strange grittiness. Maybe they need to be mixed or something like that. And of course, I painted the copper and magenta off camera because I wasn't really paying attention. I got too into the swatching, but I really, really, really like the copper. I'm kind of kicking myself for not opening it sooner and seeing it. But the magenta has the same grittiness problem, which is an interesting texture and definitely be usable for fun. But when you want like a smooth metallic, that is not exactly the way to go. But here you can see everything in this is, they say, very good light farce and semi-transparent. All of them are labeled that way, but there are no labels on the Discovery set. Nothing to signify any sort of light fastness or opacity rating. Obviously, you can tell the opacity by painting it, but light fast, that's a whole different kettle of fish. And I know that light fastness is quite important if you're selling your work, but this is all just a whole heap of fun for me. Now, there are, again, some overlap with these colors between the gold and silver set and the regular metallic set. And that is, of course, gold, silver, and then bronze and copper. And I do believe that these are the same colors as in the other sets, so there's no difference in the gold, no difference in the silver, the bronze, or the copper. I believe they're the same colors, but I do really like, as clear when I go for metallics, I do go for those golds, silvers, bronzes. That's where I lean towards, and I really like the copper. So I think the gold and silver set is definitely more up my alley than the full metallic set. And maybe you'll be the same. Maybe you prefer your metallics to be your actual metal colors, if that makes sense. But no, I do quite like this set, and they are brand new, so there's no issues with the paint having dried out because I've let it sit too long. And my mother will have no issues letting me borrow these. She's very lovely. We share a lot of our arts and crafts stuff together. But this is a close-up. I'm sorry for the shaky camera work. I am holding this by hand, and I do not have a steady hand, which is a bit of a shame for an artist, but we may do. And as you can see in the close-up, you can see where I've painted over the top, and you can see that the colors are pretty much the same. But the colors that are in the gold and silver paint set that aren't in the others, you have brass, soft gold, Aztec gold, rose gold, champagne gold, shell, charcoal gray, and gunmetal gray. I absolutely love these colors. They are so pretty. I am such a gold and silver girl. I can't say that just in general day-to-day life. I do not find myself wearing a lot of jewelry. I like wearing earrings. Other than that, I get annoyed by jewelry. It just gets in the way. Rings are uncomfortable on the fingers. Bracelets just bang around. Necklaces are all right. I can wear a necklace, but mostly just earrings. But in paint, yeah, I love metallics. I really love these colors. I definitely recommend. I can't wait to do more with them. Mostly as like accent pieces and the like. But they will add a lot to it. So that is very exciting. If you have any thoughts on metallic paints yourself, preferences or absolute hatred, I know some people can't stand metallics, which each to their own. But also, if you know any other really good metallics, as you can see, I'm, sticking to the cheaper side of things at the moment while I'm just playing around and having fun. But if you do know some like really good brands, good metallic paints, interesting metallic colors, ones that come up really well, even in like your blues and greens, that would be a lot of fun. Because yeah, obviously I would love to experiment with this more, and I can't wait to create things with these. So if you know any good metallic paints, any really bad metallic paints that I should stay away from, that would also be very handy to know. Because like I said, I'm shopping cheaper, and that you can get some really, really bad, cheap quality paints. And you get what you pay for. That is true. But if you're also just looking to have fun, you don't want to necessarily spend a whole lot of money on paints that you then become a bit scared to use because they cost so much money. And if you're anything like me, that it is quite intimidating. You're like, oh no, this single paint cost me $12. I can't use this except for my absolute best product, the best art pieces. And then you don't use it, and you're not using it, which means it might dry up, go bad, which is a waste of the $12. But yeah, no, I'm really like these paints. This set in particular, I definitely recommend. The other ones, hit or miss. You know, the good paints from the other set are in this set, so I would just buy this. I wouldn't bother with the other ones. But maybe you really liked the phthalo blue or phthalo green, and that is completely understandable. We all have our own preferences. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and if I'm lucky, hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.